Marvin low key, we're much more alike than we are different.
Yeah.
I'm just a composed version of Marvin. I'm just a thought out Marvin. Some of us were new, we were all new faces to the power universe. So I did feel that pressure. I was like, man, I hope people just at least give us a chance to show what we can do, even though they haven't seen us before. I want to know, does Marvin get shot? Okay. And does Lulu come back from the dead? Because I know you just don't want to tell us. I think people think we shoot the show and then after that, they send us the whole season point, which was I worked at the cleaners. I can't tell you everything that the cleaners were selling, and I was checking in the clothes. And thank God that their cleaners didn't get raided because I'd be in prison somewhere. But I do feel like we have to protect being able to say what it is we want to say. They also got to deal with what comes with that.
All right, so welcome to Better Self Podcast. Today we have London Brown. He's somebody actually I know for a few years now, I think since 2013. And he's actually a good friend of mine. You guys already heard about him from Ballers, if you guys watch Ballers, and if you watch Raising Kanan as well. Uncle Marv. That's the name that a lot of people know him for. So London, welcome to the show. It's been a while, man.
Hey, come on. I know it's been a minute. It's been a
I
minute,
know,
dude.
I know. It's been a minute, as we say, but I know you're always busy. But today, I just wanted to talk a little bit about yourself. I know, like people see the man, people see the actor, but people don't know like the story. I see one of your podcasts, but you don't talk too much about your childhood, how you grew up, what makes you become like the person that you are today. I think that's something that I really want to touch because I know you always like giving advice to people. So today, I'm gonna be the
Okay.
one asking you a lot of questions. So
All right.
first of all, are you happy about the new season?
It's cool that
Oh
the
no,
fans
sorry,
of the
Raising
show.
Cannon, my bad, Raising Cannon. Yeah, go ahead.
Yes, it's cool that the fans of the show are enjoying it.
Uh,
So, um, I'm glad that they've been keeping up and they waited because I
yeah.
mean, people haven't really seen it. It's been a minute, but I'm glad
Uh,
that they waited for the fifth season to really, keep up with us. Because sometimes people might get discouraged and go someplace else, but they've been waiting, and I'm glad they understand that we took our time so that you guys could get some good product.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie because it took so much time to the point where when the season dropped, I had to kind of like remind myself where I stopped. Because I knew, like,
Yeah,
the feeling of when the season is coming to the end, the last episode, you'd be like, oh my God, I want to see what's going on. I can't wait for the next one. But now come to the point, it was so long, that hype was gone. I actually forgot where we stopped. I had to kind of
right.
like watch it back to make sure, like, but I'm not gonna lie to you, like, you guys start really hard. Like, I'm not gonna lie, it was crazy. The first episode was, phew, I'm not gonna spoil. I mean, you guys should watch it anyway. So the first episode was just too much. you know,
You know
it
what?
was,
But we want to come out the gate strong. So shout out to the writers, Sasha Penn and them. We just wanted to make sure that it's going to be worth people's time. But we knew that, but we just needed to make sure that the audience understood, and we want to hook the audience quickly. So I think that's what we did right out the gate, man. It's strong.
yeah, I was shocked. As soon as I see it, I was like, wow, it's quite, you guys didn't have time to kind of build things up. It's like everything was just straight to the point. The second episode was a little bit more easy, but the third one was a lot of emotion. I really like your role on the third episode as well. The relationship that you have with your daughter, the relationship that you have with Marvin and the girl is just different. So
Yeah, I
if I have
mean,
to, yeah, go on.
no, it is. I think that's just part of the growth process of just trying to art these characters in that way. So it should feel different from season one. So I'm glad you were able to catch that.
Yeah, but like, how do you distance yourself like from that character? Because I know like now a lot of people know you for who you are. Like a lot of people see you because of, like Power is such a like a global, show today. I know you did Ballers as well. Baller was good, but it's not as big as Raising Kanan as people are watching right now. And Baller was big in America. But here in Europe, a lot of people didn't really watch it as much because people, Power is like everybody kind of watch it. So
Mm.
how are you dealing with the whole thing now?
I mean, for me, I just think that my thing is almost like um it's like this. It's like it's like waiting on the bench as a hooper,
Yeah.
right?
Mm,
And you've been in the gym, you've
mm,
been getting off your shots, and you just been waiting for an opportunity to get into the game. So when you get in the game and you know, you score 25, mess around and get a triple double
Yeah.
in your first couple plays, you're not surprised. You knew what you could do. It's just a matter of other people discovering what it is you can do or them seeing it. So I mean I knew what was in my bag. It's just a matter of getting the opportunity to shoot. So I'm just glad that the audience is starting to catch up to me.
Yeah, but when he was doing like the casting, like when they tell you about the role, like the role you're gonna play, was he
Uh-huh.
like, what, I can connect straight to the person, like based on your own personality, or it was more like, this gonna be a little bit tough for me.
For me,
If you have to
uh,
compare both roles from the one he did with Ballers and the one he did with
with
Raising Kanan.
ballers. I mean, they're both. I know both these people.
Uh,
Meaning, I know I've been around people like Fat Reggie,
yeah.
just around, right? So that wasn't difficult to find, especially in my industry. You always got somebody around that may not necessarily need to be around until
Uh,
they mature. Um, when it come to Marvin, I grew up around a bunch of Marvins. Um, so because so growing up, I used to cut hair at a rehab center and or a halfway house, if you will. So from like the age of I started cutting hair maybe like 13. So
uh,
when I was cutting hair, I used to hear these stories about these guys who was in and out of prison. Some of them ex-convicts, mafia, gang affiliated, pimps, and drug addicts, crackers, everything in between that. So I've met I've met Marvin several times
uh,
from early on, early on. And so Marvin isn't this crazy stretch. Marvin low key, we're much more alike than we are different.
yeah.
I'm just a composed version of Marvin. I'm just a thought out Marvin, meaning I know obviously I can't go around and reacting to everything out of emotions because I'll find myself in a situation like Marvin. That don't mean that I don't feel certain things. I just have learned to regulate my emotions so I don't just move that way just because I feel like moving that way. But Marvin and I are not that. That's why it's not that crazy to play somebody like Marvin. It's not. It's not that. It's not like I got to go into a serious. Like I got to go into a basement with some
Mm,
incense, and you
yeah.
know what I mean. It's not that. It's
Yeah,
just
because I see like it's very organic. When you play Marv, because I speak as we talk to each other sometimes. So like when I watch like you play Marvin, there's a lot of your personality coming out of it. I'm not talking about like the gangster part, just like the way you talk, the way you act sometimes. I can
yeah.
see that a lot. But is there anything in the movie that kind of like touch you in terms of like emotionally? Because I know like especially the new season now, there's a lot of thing going on, the relationship with your daughter, with Marvin, daughter, and the relationship, what happened with Lulu as well, like the loss of Lulu as well. I think that dealing with the grief, the whole like I'm lost, I don't know what to do. I have to go to church, I have to do like the whole family drama and the life kind of crisis. Do you think there's anything that you kind of like feel like, wow, this is
I mean, don't get me wrong. It's it's close to home on a lot of different levels, but uh, Marvin's not really. There's not much Marvin is experiencing that's out of touch with who I am.
yeah.
You know what I mean? Like I've had my losses, and I'm the older brother in my family. So I'm kind of used to that. I don't have any kids yet,
uh,
but I raised my siblings like they were mine anyway. They're part of me. Um, so just when it comes to that sort of thing, it's just a matter of again acting is just like presenting these real emotions under these pretend circumstances. But the emotions, all that stuff is real. You can't really hide that on camera. Well, if you're gonna be good, you can't fake not really being uh honest. And so the camera has a way of capturing the truth. So all the emotions that people seen from Marvin, I mean, inevitably we have to bring ourselves to the stuff. Um, so all I mean, like again, it wasn't that far of a reach to play Marvin. It's just How do I keep flushing out these layers of Marvin so that the audience continues to feel emotionally invested into him going into the fifth season?
Yeah. But was it like a little bit of pressure? Like, because I know when you are joining a season such as like the whole Power universe, because of the legacy that we have from
For
Omari,
sure.
like everybody before, they put the standard so high, and you guys was coming for like a new season, and then the actor used to play the role before, they wasn't there. So you guys was actually kind of like, start
Right.
something new.
It
But did you
is.
feel any pressure? Do you feel like, and then 50 being 50 as well, that the way it is when it comes to like work skill, the standard, was you a little bit nervous based on your role?
Well, I wasn't nervous, but I did understand there was a thing of I just wanted to make sure I was hoping that the audience would follow us, even though, you know what I mean, um, some of us were new, we were all new faces to the Power universe.
Uh,
So I did feel that pressure. I was like, man, I hope people just at least give us a chance to show what we can do, even though they haven't seen us before.
uh,
And we're not none of us are spinoffs. Like we're not characters that were already previously in on Power. So we're just a whole new spinoff. And I was like, man, I hope, you know what I mean? And even with that, we got lucky. We got great writers.
yeah,
So between great writers and strong actors, it was a great combination. I mean, I could you don't always get lucky to find good writers, or some of the actors aren't really strong, but we have a really strong lead. Shout out to Patina Miller. Shout out to Makai Curtis. And the rest of the leads on the show. I think they did very well at holding it down. So it was just a matter of now, just the audience giving us a chance to show what we can do. And I think once they trusted us after season one, we were off from there.
tell me about like the whole recording procedure, because us as fans, when we watch like one season is like, like few minutes, 45 minutes or something like that. We only watch it, but I feel like there's a lot of going on. So how many time it took, sometime how many time it can take like people like to record one episode? Do you guys record just one, or you do like different episode
We
and just put together?
As far as the episodes, I think it may take like I want to say maybe 2.5 weeks, something like that. I think something like that.
Wow.
Maybe like 2 weeks, maybe like a good strong 2 weeks. But we don't shoot every day, and then sometimes weather weather can cause us to switch scenes up. We don't shoot in order. Because we don't shoot in sequence, we have to make sure we know where we are in the story emotionally, so the continuity remains solid emotionally. It matches up.
Yeah.
Um, so that's always it's again because we don't shoot every day, and it's if it's between weather or at the time people call COVID, all those things affect how we shoot.
Yeah. So are we gonna expect something much better, like something much like shocking coming like for the future when it comes to Power? I'm not gonna
I mean,
spoil
well,
anything, but
I
like
think
as
it's
a
shocking.
fan, what do you think? Are
I
we gonna
think
expect something crazy?
I think that with the show, I think there's something shocking about every episode.
Mm.
For me personally, like I think whether sometimes it's not shocking in that I think meaning I think there are things in every episode that people are not expecting to see. Sometimes it may be some character development type of a thing, or it might be a story plot twist. Like when the first episode that nobody knew, um, that Lou was gonna get shot. Like I didn't even know, and I'm on the show. I
Oh,
didn't
oh,
see that
really?
coming. I didn't know about that. And just like I didn't know that Kanan was planning to shoot his mom. And that was all new to me. So that was a
Oh,
surprise. So anyway, because you guys have to understand that I'm not shooting. I'm not in the same scene with them. So if I'm not in the same scene with them, I'm not on set that day. I don't know. Marvin got his own storyline low key. So when it came down to that, or those sorts of things, every episode there's something like people wasn't expecting to see that side of Marvin in episode one. They didn't know. Just like when Marvin went into the bar and he, you know, caught those bodies. People didn't know. They don't know what's
mm,
going on. They just know he's looking for somebody. Or even like you mentioned, the stuff with jukebox.
yeah,
The characters are being surprised. Marvin didn't know Juke was gonna say, she loved him. That see, the characters are going through the same sort of surprise, shock factor that the audience is going through. So on either side, there's always some sort of shock value to the story.
Yeah, I mean, like, I mean, this is I really enjoy this season. Like, if you go back to like your kind of like your work ethic, like when it comes to you as a comedian, is it something like you always wanted to do, or is just like I don't know? I never asked you a question about what is your biggest inspiration. Like, what made you like become a comedian?
Stand up. I think funny people are born with
Yeah,
that. I think that's a timing thing. Um, because I wasn't a class clown. I wasn't that. But
right.
I do remember making people laugh early on. So I think I was because I used to make people laugh in church at the talent shows and all that old stuff.
Yeah,
But I remember in high school, it started to it kind of hit me a little bit, and then my friends were the ones who encouraged me to, saying that I was funny.
yeah.
And but then I do remember growing up watching Comic View, BT Comic View, and I remember my boy Luke. He 'cause I didn't grow up with cable, so because I didn't grow up with cable, I didn't have access to any of the comedy shows. But um, I went over to his crib because she had cable, and his family did. So I remember watching Def Comedy Jam, and I remember just thinking, like, that's cool. Like that's I didn't know I didn't know what I wanted to do was somebody was doing that. I didn't know if there was a name. I didn't know about that like that. I just knew funny is funny feels natural. Um, but Def Jam definitely was inspirational in that way, and Comic View, uh,
Yeah.
both those for sure. And then I remember seeing Richard Pryor. And at the time I was like 18. I didn't really quite know. I didn't understand the I didn't understand the science behind jokes, but I knew that he was funny and stuff like
Mhm.
that. So I think it's a couple things, man. All that stuff play together. The church talent shows to my friends in high school, to Def Jam and all that sort of thing. They all work together.
But was it like I think how was it did like there was a point in your life where you felt like you know what is this really gonna work or is it not gonna work? Did you go to those level as well where you're kind of like doubting yourself to know
Well,
if
I felt like that with acting.
yeah
Um, I remember there was a period when I got out of high school, I couldn't go to the movies, bro. I didn't want to go to the movies because I wanted to do it so badly. I was like, man, for like early, yeah, I was like early 20s. I was like, I just stopped going to the movies. I remember seeing Drumline, and I was thinking, I was like, I could have played. I forgot Nick Cannon's character. I was like, I could have did that. That's easy. 'Cause especially too when I was in high school. Um, I was, I was over the drummers in high school, and so of course, we're talking about the whole marching band, whole thing.
yeah.
So when I saw Nick, I was like, I can do that. So that really messed me up. I just stopped going to the movies because I was so disappointed and not disappointed. I was frustrated that I didn't know how to get to the other side of the dream to living the dream. So there was that period. And I've had a bunch of odd jobs. I used to work for a photography company. I
Yeah,
used to,
you love pictures as well. Yeah, I forgot about that
yeah,
side. Yeah.
I used to work for a photography company. And, I wasn't taking pictures though. I wasn't taking pictures at that time. I was just I was just the dude. I was baking cookies. And when I don't know how y'all got it out there, but out here, like on picture day for your senior pictures and whatnot, p uh, all the seniors sign up for the picture program. You get your cap and gown photo, and that's So anyway, I was checking people in. I was baking cookies while they wait. I was organizing the caps and gowns and setting up. Bro, that was a very, I ain't gonna say a depressed time. It wasn't depressed, but I was just like, I said, life got to be better than this. I'm setting
Really
up cookies Monday through Friday. I think it was minimum wage. It just wasn't it, bro. It wasn't
part
it.
of life, man.
But it was cool. It was cool. I got what I need to get from it. Then I remember at one point, um, I was the guy holding up in LA or in the States. Sometimes there are these people and they stand on the corner with the signs and they flip and twirl the signs around and try to direct traffic to go buy a car or get insurance or whatever. I remember I did that. I sold the LA Times newspaper. And then one of my last jobs, I mean, I did work in after school program. That was kind of later on, but one of my early jobs, I don't know if you ever seen Paid in Full, but in Paid in Full, I was Ace Boogie. Whatever Ace Boogie did, that was my, I did that at one point, which was I worked at the cleaners. I can't tell you everything that the cleaners were selling, but just I worked at the cleaners and I was checking in the clothes. And thank God that their cleaners didn't get raided because I'd be in prison somewhere.
Really?
I'm telling
Wow.
you, man. In fact, me and my brothers, um, all three of us worked there at one point. So it was, it was a cool little, it's just a little side hustle, wasn't nothing crazy, but I was Ace Boogie at the cleaners, man.
What
But
was like
it all
your
worked out. It worked out.
what was like the first scene have you ever done?
The first what?
The first scene like you ever done? You know, like the first scene, like movie scene that you ever done?
Oh, I mean, well, I guess technically, officially, as far as the TV series, it was The Hustle.
Yeah.
I did that. Before that, I did a sketch comedy show, called Uh, I can't even think of the sketch comedy show, but it was with shout out with Afion Crockett, and he booked me for that. It was a sketch comedy show, and we just did a bunch of sketches. Like a Key and Peele type situation. Um, and then a year or so later, some change later, I ended up booking a show called The Hustle on Fuse Network, and from Fuse, I took that show ended. I was on a hold, and a hold means like basically they pay you to not d- they pay you while they figure out the next project for you because they like you, but they know they don't want to stop you from working, so they'll pay you. And then after that, I got a call for Ballers, and then it happened like that.
So yeah, I was saying like every time I talk to people, people always come to your character like, why is Marvin always have food? Is it Marvin the same person that we see in the movie? Is he always like the same thing in the real life as well? Like the whole food things, I think I like it because now you start making a little bit of sense. At the start of the season, we see you using a lot of food, a lot of funny part. People thought Marvin was more like just a funny uncle. But at the end, everything just kind of switched. So the whole food thing, was he your own idea or it was part of the script?
That was just something I brought. As far as the food I did was just something I brought to the showrunner or the creator of the show. And I just told him early on, I just kind of wanted to start, you know, um, I wanted to find ways to make Marvin interesting and just kind of separate it. So that was just a choice that another layer. It wasn't even the main layer, it was just a layer. I think people really liked it, obviously, but that wasn't that was nothing. That was just that was a surface idea. That wasn't even like the core of who Marvin is. That was just a small hack that I learned from doing theater,
Yeah.
of making small business. Like how, because even as we sit and we do this, we're never just sitting. We're adjusting, we're sitting up, we're adjusting the mics, I'm checking the phones. There's always some sort of small business. The food is just one of those things that people paid attention to, but Marvin does lots of small things um, that people don't catch. That's just one of the obvious ones, but so it kind of took off from there.
As a comedian, like there's a lot of things that you kind of like deal with in terms of the way society is today. Because you feel like today comedian they have more freedom, or is more challenging for them to kind of express themselves with their art.
I think it's just a different form of challenges. There are more platforms so people get can be seen between streaming and on the platforms and different creating coming up with creative concepts for content. Um, but I do feel like we have to protect being able to say what it is we want to say.
Yeah.
I think people should be able to say whatever it is they want to say. They also got to deal with what comes with that. You got to be responsible on that side, but please say what you want to say. I'm gonna fight for you to say whatever it is you want to say because I want to be able to say whatever it is I want to say. Now, even if yours is inaccurate, for those people who are speaking accurately, people should be able to say what it is they want to say.
Yeah. But I feel like it's not easy for a lot of people sometimes. I think you have to come with a lot of personality. It's like recording podcasts as well. When you say things, you have to make sure like you have to be aware of whatever gonna come back to you. Whatever you're saying, you put it out there, you have to make sure you control whatever you're actually saying. Because
Absolutely.
that's a lot of it was really, really nice to have you today, man. It's always a pleasure. So is there anything else like you are working on right now that you want your fans to know? Like any message, first of all, you have for your fans? Because I know a lot of
Um,
people love you around the
first,
world. Something that
yes. To the message would be thank y'all, for watching the show. We appreciate. We got more to come. We're not done. Be sure to tune in. You don't want to miss it. You guys can catch me on at Killing It Pod.
yeah,
At
your
Killing It
podcast.
Pod, we talk to a lot of great guests about how to navigate the industry. How, you know, everything from how to pitch in the writers' meeting, auditions, the building content, creating content, podcasts, gaining numbers, comedy clubs, what have you. Um, Navigating as a woman in the industry, navigating as a Asian or Latin. We covered the races. We got some stuff, man. So that's at Killing It Pod, and I'm still touring doing stand up and all that sort of thing. And yeah, there's some TV things already in the works,
Yeah,
and
man.
so yeah, you guys are gonna teach some of that stuff out.
I'm really happy that you start doing podcasts because it's something I really wanted you to do. Like we keep asking you all the time because I know you've been doing your YT talk before on Instagram. So I think like now it's good because you have a platform where you have everything together. I think it's really good. I watch it a lot. So that's a very
Yeah,
good
I'm gonna
thing.
do I'm gonna do the YT talks again, but it just what was happening was people were stealing my content and building fake pages on TikTok. So I'm like,
I hate it.
let me go get verified on TikTok first, and then you know, then I'll start posting. I got a vault full of them, bro. I got a vault
Yeah.
full of
I
YT
think you
talks.
you you'll
I'm in
be
a
going
YT
crazy.
talk now. I'm about to probably do one.
You
I stay in them, bro.
you be going crazy on TikTok, like I wonder why. Okay, I'm always gonna. I like when you do that. Like when you impersonate a voice or when you do something. Can you give me your best one? Like
Is it which one?
your best
My best
impersonate
voice
any
pick?
voice. Yeah,
Uh, Man, what's the worst? I mean, the one that people like, they like the let's see, they like the Denzel one, which is listen, it's not what you know, it's what you can prove. So be sure you watch. You be sure to watch Phone Christ and all his interviews. Boom, and you be sure to watch. You tune into London on Raising Kanan. We're gonna raise some hell. Boom. Oh no, dude.
that was good. That was good. And what I like as well is when you do the third person. That's a funny one as well.
You said which
We used
one?
to do when you use the third person. When you used to do the third person. When you talk about somebody, be like,
Let me see. Oh, you mean let me see. Which was it? Oh, okay, maybe this
you
one.
get it?
Is it one with the frog voice?
Yeah,
Like
that voice.
so
That's funny.
okay. So what happens is in my mind, I can't see all the people who got negative things to say or
Yeah.
all the silly people on here, but the person in my mind, I picture them. Okay. Here's one. I'll go live or something, and in the comments, I will allow people to ask me questions about whatever it is they want to ask me, relationships, whatever, and then I'll say something like this. Hey guys, listen. You guys know I can't give any spoiler alerts on on the live. I can't give any spoiler alerts. So just ask me what you want to ask me. The first thing somebody do say, hey, London, let me touch for a minute, brother. Hey man, I want to tell you, brother. I want to know, does Marvin get shot? Okay, and does Lulu come back from the dead? Because I know you know, you just don't want to tell us. I'm like, listen, man, I don't know, bro. I don't. People think they think I think people think we shoot the show, and then after that, they send us the whole season, a year in advance. We don't know the show because we don't shoot on the same day, so we don't know the storylines. Even when we read the whole episodes, it's a new draft of a script coming out every couple of days. Sometimes we get a new script in the middle of shooting. So we shoot out of order. We get rewrites all the time. We don't shoot on the same days. I have my own storyline, and in between the edits, there are certain things that we shot. Sometimes we may shoot two versions of an ending or two versions of a particular scene. We don't know. We don't know. And it's not that we have anything to hide. We don't know. They don't the stars are very secretive about or studios are very protective over these projects because they don't need the stuff to get out. You know what I mean? It's not like music once it gets out, then you kind of go back and keep listening to it. Once the story plot is out, then that ruins the whole story. It's done. So we don't play like that. We don't know. They don't tell us. So it's new to us like it's new to y'all. We don't know.
That was the best expression. You know, like I love that one. You know, that was that was a good one. You
I,
know,
I'll
man.
keep that in mind.
Okay. Thank you again for having you today, man. Like I wish you all the best and then we finally made it today. So thank you for your time as well. I know you're always busy, man. Like
No, man, it's cool,
and
man. You my
yeah, I
brother, so
wish
it's all
you
good.
yeah, I wish you all the best. Hopefully we're gonna meet very soon as well, because I think we haven't seen each other for years. So hopefully I don't
Yeah,
know if
no,
you're
I gotta
coming to
get.
Europe or
Yeah,
go on.
I gotta get out there, bro. I gotta get back out to Europe. It's been a minute. I gotta get
Yeah, you
back
have
out there. I
to.
want to. I like it. It's been a minute, so I gotta get out there.
If you go anywhere in Europe, for sure I'm gonna travel. Like, you know, Europe is like everything is around the corner. We come down, or if my way I come down to LA as well or something, I have to.
Okay, yeah, man.
So
I'll definitely keep you posted. Thanks for having me. And we'll chop it up, man. Tell your family and everybody. I said, what's good, bro.
thank you, man. Thank you again for today. Make sure you guys follow London Brown and watch Raising Kanan as well. Next episode. Thank you.
Boom, peace, bro.